We alive. We alive. Boy. Um, what can I say? Hello, welcome. Hey, Brittany, the coach, sales strategist. Sorry, business strategist, but helping us make sales. Oh, shoot. Now I see. Okay, great. I'm live. This is the Find Your Voice show. I am on YouTube right now, as well as Instagram. So let me get going because I don't have a lot of time today. And oh, let me pin this comment right here. Here we go. And we pin it. There we go. So, welcome to the Find Your Voice show. I say this thing of doing Instagram and YouTube, it's going to go out of style one day soon. It's going to stop one day soon. And let me just a little bit more. It's going to go out of style, but in the meantime, this is where I am in both places. So if you have not subscribed just yet, make sure you go to the Find Your Voice show on YouTube. And we're going to be changing some format. There's going to be some interviews that are going to be really exciting. So here we go. Today, uh-oh. Okay, sorry, the YouTube is skipping on me, but we're just gonna make sure we go forward. So today, here's what's the deal. Why aren't you moving? Why aren't you moving? Why aren't you moving? One of the things I've been thinking about for myself, and even for the people who've come to me over the years, and maybe they thought they wanted coaching, but then they pulled back and didn't want coaching or whatever it was, and then they said, I'll get sometime soon. A lot of what do we say here? A lot of those people may appear to be not necessarily having moved. Some of them still saying years later, "Oh, I really want to work with you." But does that mean you haven't moved? Oh, you can't really hear me. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe because my volume was down. Give me a thumbs up or something, Brittany, if you could hear me better, because my volume was down on my phone, but now it should be a little bit better. I hope it is better. And also, you know what it is? Let's do this. Hold on, Instagram. Hold on, YouTube. We're going to do it like this because I think this is going to take out the sound. This is going to take out the sound. Okay. All right, we're going to do it like this. So we're going to do it. So now we just put Instagram in the holder and YouTube, you are here. Let's say this. This is about why haven't you moved? If you are still finding that you are in the same spot, that you are still in the same spot you were in 2 years ago, Black woman leaders, I want you to think about a couple of things. I hate the fact that this is so much space above my head on Instagram, but we gonna work with it. So one of the things I was thinking about was the wounds. The wounds, the WOUNDS, the wounds, and how we have allowed the wounds over the years to not make us move. Here's some examples of some wounds. And I'm going to go back. I'm taking it way back. I was bullied a little bit in middle school, a little bit in high school. However, I could say that was a long time ago. However, from that point, I still saw that in my adulthood, I was still living those wounds. Like those wounds were still with me so much so that in my mind, it caused me to look at myself a certain way. It caused me, and therefore, if I looked at myself a certain way, then I behaved according to the way I thought I was. The self image I had was in the toilet. So it is the wounds that so many times can keep you back, and you don't even realize what that is. What is it that is keeping you back? I actually, and I think I've talked about this before, is that I actually I confronted one of my bullies. I did confront him. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? He didn't even remember. He didn't even remember me. He didn't remember bullying me. He didn't remember going to school with me. And therefore, For decades, I had taken it to heart what this guy had said, feeling this certain way, but this jig didn't even remember who I was. Isn't that something? How we do that? Black woman leader, what wounds are you holding inside of you that are preventing you from not moving? So the other thing is, and I should have written this down. So the other thing is, it's easier, and listen, this be hitting hard, and I use bad grammar on purpose. It is easier to talk than to do, right? Why is it easier to talk than to do? Absolutely, Brittany. Why is it so much easier? When we talk, what happens? We feel good, right? You can talk yourself to feeling good. Anyone can self-talk and then feel good. Yes, 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 this, that. But then when it gets ready to do, you're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. Some of those words you like to use to tear yourself down. You feel scared. You get scared. Someone say scared. Look at your neighbor and someone say scared. You get scared. And feeling scared, right? What is that? That's fear. And feeling fear doesn't feel good. Anyone want to acknowledge that they may have some fear? And feeling the fear doesn't feel good. And then that's where we have the choice to move or to not move. And many times we succumb to the fear and we don't move. And then we go through that whole cycle again. That cycle can last for years. We go through the whole cycle again of we're going to pump ourselves up. Oh, there goes Coach Fleonzi again. Yes, I said I was going to work with her 2 years ago because this is what's happening now. Oh, yeah, I said I was going to work with her 2 years ago. Then you get, then that thing starts happening. And then you don't feel good. So I want to challenge you in saying this, that the fear is that pull saying, we're kind of comfortable here. Your thoughts and your body saying, we're comfortable here. Why would you pull us out of where we're comfortable? So it is a fight. So I have to tell you that it feels good to talk about it, and those things start rushing up in your body because it's, you're not really changing anything. But when it comes time to move, and your body now has to move out of where it is into the next, your body wants to stay. So there is a fight, and I encourage you that when that fight comes, you talk, right? Because let's keep in mind, when you talk, you can pump yourself up. So then now you talk and you move. You are not your thoughts, because if you notice, I'm saying you talk and then you move, because if you're quiet when you start to move, that those thoughts will say, come on, I mean, this doesn't make sense to do it right now. You don't have any money. uh you just moved to here. You just moved out of the country. That would be me. You just moved out of the country. Your mom isn't feeling well. This that It could be a bunch of things. Sorry, I just noticed something. It could be a bunch of things why you can't move. But that's where you have to open up your mouth and say, I am not my thoughts. I'm going to pick up the phone and make that first call to, whomever it is, a client or a potential client, whoever it might be. I am going to go knock on that door that I'm supposed to knock on. I guess no one does door to door sales, but anyway, I'm not going to do XYZ. It's so, and there's a fight. Listen, you may have to fight, and you might have to wrestle yourself. Listen, if it wasn't so messy from where here to where I need to walk to, I show you that right now on my wall it says I am prosperity. I am peace. I am love. And there's a whole bunch of other affirmations up there because I've learned about myself that I must talk while I move. I can't just move because my mind tells me all types of stuff. You were teased in school. You are now in New Jersey, but you should be in Africa, either in Cameroon or in Kenya. Like there's a bunch of things that my mind tries to tell me. Why are you not moving today? Oh, mm, oh wow. And then the last thing, and this is one of the four agreements, if you've ever read the book, The Four Agreements. And that is some of you haven't moved because this is kind of harsh, but you are not impeccable with your words. I'll say that again because it's going to land a certain way. Some of you have not moved because you are not impeccable with your words. So if you read the book, I advise everyone to read the book, The Four Agreements. It's amazing. One of the agreements is saying to be impeccable with your word, impeccable with your word. So even to the point where I'm sure all of us have done something like this. You meet someone and you're like kind of you connect a bit and you're like, oh my gosh, we have to meet for coffee. Maybe the other person says to you, oh my gosh, we have to, we have to exchange numbers, we have to meet for coffee. And in your mind you're like, yeah, this was a nice conversation, but I don't necessarily want to meet you for coffee. It's not that they're mean, not that you're mean, but you don't. But what do you say? What do you say? Oh, of course. Yeah, no problem. Here, let's exchange numbers. But you never had any intentions of meeting them. Now, I hear what some of you are going to say. Well, what am I supposed to say, Vuyanzi? That, oh, no, I don't want to meet you? No, no one said to be rude just because you're saying the truth. But you could say, definitely we can exchange numbers. And, I mean, that's where you could say, I don't know that we can meet. However, we can definitely have a medium of exchange if the need rises or something like that. I mean, you can say something and and you can say something to let them know this probably will not happen. Mm, Brittany, I'm laughing because Brittany says she's tired of being called rude. But but it's about you can have that certain, what do they say, je ne sais quoi, and still be impeccable with your word. So how does this relate to you not moving? It's time to say what you mean and mean what you say. It's not about other people, but about you and what you want for your life. Many of you have said this because it makes others feel uncomfortable. That makes others feel comfortable. Um, yeah, I listen. I just need enough money to pay my bills, just and so I can be okay. I don't need a lot of money. I don't want a lot of money. I just want it. Yet inside of you, you really want to say something like, "I want to be a millionaire," but you are scared because you're afraid of how you're going to be judged. So even right there, you may say, "Well, how is that? You're not impeccable with your word." Then then don't say anything. I mean, why are you discussing your business, your financial business in front of other folk that's going to judge you, that are going to judge you anyway? Be impeccable with your word. If you're not happy at your job, you don't need to go around saying it, but you need to speak maybe when you get in the confines of your home. I am not happy here. I will do what it takes to change my circumstance. I am not happy here. I will do what it takes to change my circumstance. Be impeccable with your words. Speak truth to yourself. You lie to yourself. Your subconscious is telling you the stories about yourself. Your actions keep you hot. The lack of action keeps you hostage in your specific situation. And now you found that nothing has moved in your life and we are 2 years past lockdown and you told yourself you were going to be in a specific place in a status, let's say in a particular status, you told yourself life would look different, but yet you look around and you see the same bleep thing. Queen, why are you not moving? It is time for us to be truthful with ourselves. It is time for us to be truthful about where we are at and why. It is time to look at those wounds and say, can I move still with these wounds? Listen, if you are ever at a point that you ever want to move, there are like I forget what the number. Actually, I saw the number of how many coaches there are globally. So there's like a million. You just happen to be watching one in a million. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Anyone know Lou Rawls? Anyone know Lou Rawls? God rest his soul. Anyway, I am one in a million. And so you don't need to work with me ever. But what I will encourage you to do is to find a coach that will help you move. Listen, what is the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I've hopefully helped to make you aware of why you are where you are. So the next thing you need to do is do something about it. And if you're saying to yourself, "Oh, I can just do this myself." Insanity. Don't be insane. Get help. Now, if you're like, "Oh, maybe I want to work with her," that's fine. Then DM me. I mean, this is easy enough to do. Click it and DM me. But otherwise, find someone you can work with. Okay, I went over my time by 2.5 minutes. Mwah, to Insta. Who is this first? First, goodbye to YouTube and mwah, 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 mwah.